Hey guys, so I kind of know I've been slacking in the episode review department lately, but school just kind of really got out of hand. So this weekend I marathoned episode 3 and 4 of the Shadowhunters. Thank God for putting episodes on the internet after they air, or I'd be so lost and kind of disappointed because I'd be so behind. So anyways, here are my thoughts on these two episodes. Yeah, let's go ahead into this. So, episode 3, I'm not quite sure how I felt about this episode. I'm still not a fan of Kat. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. I'm thinking maybe it's her voice. I just really don't like her voice, so maybe that just switches over to me not liking her acting or what. I just really don't like her. I want to like her. I don't have anything against her. I don't like her, and I don't know why. I'm so sad and mad at myself about this when I don't know, why do I not like her? Okay, so we get, more shots at the Institute, whatever, and now Clary's living in the Institute. My question is, why are there so many people in the Institute at all times? I don't ever remember in the books there being this many people actively living in the Institute all the time. There's the Lightwoods and of course Jace and Hodge, but other than that nobody is really at the New York Institute, so that's really confusing when there's constantly always people there, always training and messing with the computers and whatnot. Where did all these people come from and why are they there? What's going on? Why? Because don't most Shadowhunters live in Idris? Is that how you say it? I don't know. I think it is. Idris? Don't they all live there? And, and there's this other people who, run the different institutes all over the world. When all of them go out to find these weapons, why are we searching in a graveyard? Because all the weapons are in churches. Churches recognize the Shadowhunters, and they all believe in demons, and they know that the Shadowhunters are there to protect them from demons, and there's always a emergency stockpile of weapons in the church, under the pulpit, I think is where it is. But then they were in a graveyard and they were robbing this chick's grave of it. What even? It's supposed to be in the church, not in a grave. That makes no sense. Why is it in a grave? And what the heck was the abracadabra as he drew the rune or whatever on the coffin? What the fuck was that? We're not magicians. Why are you saying abracadabra? That wasn't funny. What even? Where did that come from? Why did you think that was okay to say there? So, yeah, we, get to see more of the vampires in this episode, because we just kind of saw them, at the very end of the last episode, and obviously they kidnapped Simon. Why is everything moving so fast in this, TV show? I just feel it's so confusing that everything is moving so super fast, and why do the vampires want the Mortal Cup? In the books, they wanted the Mortal Cup because Valentine, is draining blood from every type of downworld, or there was a vampire and a werewolf and there was a fae and I think there was a warlock too, and that's why they're after the Mortal Cup, because they wanted revenge. But why are they after the Mortal Cup right now? That doesn't make sense. And then the vampires. Why do the vampires have to have claws? Raphael has freaking claws for nails. What is this? You can be a vampire and you can have normal taking care of fingernails. You don't have to have claws. I don't understand that, and it really kind of creeps me out. What are you gonna do, claw somebody's eyes out? What? Why do you have claws? And then we have Camille, and the actress they picked to play her is really pretty, and I kind of like the way she plays the role. I feel as I get more view of her, maybe I'll make more of an opinion up. Right now, she's okay. But she is not Camille. Camille is blonde, and yeah, I don't see her as Camille. Like, what did this happen? Like, you didn't even, like, at least with everybody else, you tried to pair them up to their looks, and if they didn't look like it, you had them dye their hair, but, like, you couldn't, like, have somebody be blonde, or, you know, make her dye her hair blonde, or, you know, maybe wear a wig. Like, what is this? Like, and isn't Camille, like, French or something? I swear she has an accent, but this chick doesn't. Like, I'm so confused. And, like, back to Raphael, like, he is not, like, he doesn't feel like Raphael to me. And, like, that whole ending scene where they end up saving Simon, and then Raphael is, like, threatening to kill Simon as he tells them to go out the door. Like, wouldn't you just keep your hostage then? Like, why let him go? And then, you know, obviously, you know, it's sunlight outside, and you're still, like, hiding behind it. I don't understand. I don't like, what's going on. And I wish we got to see more of the hotel, because scenes in the hotel, like, in the book, sound so amazing, and this whole rundown hotel is just, like, an awesome, creepy, scary vibe that fits really well with the vampires. So why didn't we get to see more of that? I'm so disappointed in these vampires. It's sad. And can we talk for a second in the graveyard scene once they get, fuck, I forgot how they say this. Is it Syrah blade? Is that what it is? Whatever, you know, the little sword knife thingies they use. I can't remember what they're called. Okay, we have this really, really cliche scene, like, you know, when a guy's trying to teach a girl how to do sports, like, he's teaching her how to swing the baseball bat, or he's teaching her how to golf, and, you know, he stands behind her and he holds her at the wrists and shows her how to move the club or the bat or whatever, and you've got Jace doing that to Clary to teach her how to use the Syrah blade, and what even, just back and forth, you know, it's just, I don't know how to use a sword. I mean, I've watched movies that have sword fighting in it, and, you know, I think, yeah, the way to use a sword is to swing back and forth. That's how a fucking sword works. Like, you don't need to tell her. That's, like, common sense to think that's how a sword works. And then we have this really cliche scene where he's teaching her how to use it. And obviously, Jace and the rest of all the other Shadowhunters have had years of practice on how to use these weapons and all this stuff. And suddenly, like, Clary becomes a master of it in, like, 30 seconds. What? Why? How? Like, and even, like, earlier in the episode, she said, I can't just turn into what you are overnight. Well, you're doing it pretty well already. Like, you mastered the Syrah blade, and, you know, you're learning all these runes and stuff. Like, okay. What? Why did we have to put that cliche scene in here? Like, no, just stop. And the very last scene where they're all standing on the roof of the Hotel Dumont, and, you know, Simon is staying there with Clary, and she's telling him that, you know, she loves him and she would not be able to live without him. Obviously, it's like the best friend kind of love. We all have that feeling towards, like, our best friends and stuff, and, like, our family. Like, you love them and you don't think you could live without them. It's not like a I'm in love with you, like, let's go get married type of thing. But poor Simon he just takes it to heart, and he's like, yes, I finally get a chance. And then you get Jace up, like, on a higher part of the roof, and he's, like, staring at Clary, and then Clary's staring at him, and we have this moment, and then poor Simon's hopes are crushed because he thought he had a chance, and then he realized they've all been crushed to smithereens because Clary likes Jace. But why? Like, this shouldn't be happening yet. Like, I feel like they're rushing this whole romance thing, and I don't like it. And then we have this whole scene with Jace and Alec fighting, and, you know, it's hinting that there's something going on with Alec, which, if you've read the books, you know what it is. We all know what it is. And obviously Alec is very protective, possessive person, kind of, and I just felt like that whole argument scene and, like, was just really forced. I didn't feel like there was actually, like, they felt the emotions. Like, Jace didn't understand why Alec was being such an asshole, and Alec is just doing it because he's in love with Jace, and he wants Jace to be his, and I didn't feel like that was actually what was happening within that scene. It just didn't feel right. Episode 4, okay. Beginning of this episode, I really felt a connection with Kat. Like, I really liked, you know, the beginning, like, first minute and a half of the episode. I felt like, yes, she's Clary, this is Clary, and then I just started hating it after that. I don't know why I hate her acting so much, guys. Like, I'm so upset about this. Like, whatevs. I'll get over it eventually, hopefully. I mean, I'm not gonna stop watching because I don't like her. I mean, it's not that I don't like her, I don't know why. That's not gonna be, I won't ever stop watching it because of that. I'll just push through it and, you know, make myself be okay with it. So, you know, we get flashbacks back to Valentine in this episode, and the Clave has sent some spies to infiltrate his, you know, center of command, and they're invisible. And I didn't like it. Like, it just looked weird the way I don't know if they CGI'd that in or what they did to make them blend in. It just looked weird, and then you could see the eyeballs, and I thought the whole point of, like, being invisible is that you're completely invisible. Like, that was just, like, bad graphics or whatever. I didn't like that. You know, poor Simon decides he's so done and he's just gonna go home and try to live a normal life. And all of a sudden, Maureen shows up in his room, like, out of nowhere. And he's just kind of like, where did you come from? And she's like, you know, we were supposed to have rehearsal last night. You stood me up. You could have at least texted me. Oh, I was busy doing homework. First off, how the fuck did she get in her house? Like, his house? Like, who just walks in to somebody's house, like, without being invited? Like, honestly, it's different if it's, like, your best friend and you're like, hey, I'm coming over, and you just kind of walk in, but, like, you kind of already live there. It's like your second home and, like, your second set of parents. Like, that's different because they, like, expect you over all the time, so it's okay. But this chick, she's in a band with Simon, his mom knows about her and everything, she knows they're friends, but she just, like, walked into his house. Nobody noticed that she came in until she came into Simon's room, and then Simon's mom comes in, and it's like, oh, hi, Maureen, I didn't know you were here. Who? Like, did your parents not teach you manners? You don't just walk into somebody's house without being invited and without letting them know. Like, I would be totally creeped out if, like, some, like, friend of mine just randomly, like, walked into my house because the front door is open, and they walked into my room and be like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, why? Like, get out. Like, how'd you even get in? I'm sorry, that's just creepy. Like, nobody just walks into somebody's house like that. So I've never really noticed until I started, like, I watched these previous 2 episodes, I never really, like, paid much attention to Claire's necklace or anything, but, you know, I thought it was just, like, a tiny little, like, gem or something, like, on a string, like, on the chain. But then, like, I really started noticing it in these last 2 episodes, and literally it's, like, this giant hunk of rock with the chain on it. Like, it looks so weird. Like, you couldn't have, like, fashioned it into, like, a really nice necklace, like that necklace they were trying to use to bait Magnus with, how he had the gem, like, put into, like, a pendant for the necklace. Like, you couldn't do something like that. Like, why is it a giant rock? It is so weird. Like, it's so big, and it's so random to put on a necklace. Like, you could have easily just taken a smaller chunk of that, put it into the pendant, put it on the necklace, and it would still work exactly the same. Why is everything so much bigger in this show? Like, the witch light, you know, is like this huge chunk of rock they just, like, carved out of the side of the cave or whatever, and her necklace is like this huge, like, purple thing. Like, what even? Okay, so, you know, they're trying to track down Magnus, and so she takes a button off of Claire catches a button off of Magnus's jacket before he disappears back to his hiding spot, and Jace is trying to track it, and he can't do it himself, so he has to parabatai track it with Alec. Which I understand, like, you know, they're tied together and obviously they should be stronger when they're working together. But like that whole scene, you know, he's holding it and then Alec is holding onto his hands and they're trying to track it and they're like intently staring into each other's eyes, and like I'm totally getting like this huge like bromancy feel, but like not like a bromance, like something more. And like I honestly thought at any point they were gonna start making out, and it was so weird. I was like, what is going on? Like maybe if you're like trying to focus all your energy or whatever onto this to you know, find Magnus, like wouldn't you have your eyes closed? Like why didn't you be like romantically and intently staring into each other's eyes? Like I just felt like that scene was so awkward. I don't know about anybody else, but I was so awkward watching it. Okay, so you know, we finally get to see more of Magnus as himself, and oh my gosh, the guy they have playing him, I love him. Like, I think he does an absolute amazing job as Magnus. I really love watching him play Magnus. He brings Magnus to life, and I freaking love it. And I think it's really funny that, you know, Magnus is like so out there with portraying that, you know, he is gay, and no, he's more like bisexual. That he is attracted to men as well as women, and he definitely is attracted to Alec, and he keeps dropping hints, and it's like, oh my god, yes. So we finally get to see some Malik coming in to the show, and I'm so excited because I love them. I think they're hilarious. I think they're super cute. And it's so funny because Magnus is like so into him, and Alec is so like, okay, but then he kind of like warms up to it because he's like, okay, yeah, oh my god, I'm so excited. And we know there is an episode somewhere within the season titled Malik, so yeah, totally pumped because one of my OTPs from the series is finally getting together. Yes! So the summoning scene, because Magnus apparently threw Clary's memories to a memory demon, you know, they have the summoning scene and they have to give up a memory of their loved ones. And, you know, Izzy's is Alec, because obviously that's her brother. Clary's is her mom. And then it gets to Alec. And Alec's memory is Jace. And he flips the shit out. Like, dude, okay, obviously now we all know Alec is in love with Jace at this point. Hopefully, if you're not, then, oh, wow. You're a little behind now. You know, Alec, if he wouldn't have freaked out, he could have easily covered for this, because obviously, like, Jace and Alec are parabatai, so they're supposed to be closer than brothers, but, you know, just not feeling the chemistry between these actors in this show so far. Maybe it'll change, we'll find out, but, you know, it could easily be, like, he could have easily covered afterwards and been like, well, you know, you're like a brother to me, so I really care for you. Like, he didn't have to flip out. Like, once he started flipping out, that's when you know something was up. And yeah, he just kind of ruined it at that point. So he didn't have to do that. And then, you know, he ends up breaking the circle and this demon gets out. What is this fucking tornado? Why is there a tornado in the room? Like, why couldn't he just be like a demon that pops up but doesn't speak English and like Magnus has to like translate? Like, what even? Like, I'm so confused about what happened. And then it takes Jace hostage and then Claire, like, it was so weird, and I just, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it was shot. I didn't like, I just didn't like it. It was so weird. It looked kind of fake too, so yeah. Anyways, so that is it for my thoughts on episodes 3 and 4 of the Shadowhunters. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, if I'm just crazy about, you know, everything. Yeah, so that's great. I'll see you guys next time with another video. Until then, my name is Chrissy. Goodbye!